This is Chris Brown. This is Quinn Ray. This is Summer Walker. This is Drake. Lola Brooke.
Power 95, where music lives. The views expressed in the following program aren't necessarily those of Power 95.
In recognition of our nation's independence, we're celebrating the journey to 50 with an exclusive car insurance offer. If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50 plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunities. Western Union, moving money for better.
Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited and Beacon Insurance.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the room. Yeah, and you realize I'm starting early. I'm starting bright and early because what's going on? Where am I hearing myself? Oh, yeah. I'm starting bright and early because we have so much to talk about in this 30 minutes. We got a lot to unpack. I swear I'm in the twilight zone. Anyways, welcome everybody. And of course, if you're already here, don't hesitate to hit the share button. I saw Mr. Ray came in pretty early. Good morning, Salvon. Good morning, Marianne. Good morning, Shanti. Shanti, where were you yesterday? Did I see you yesterday? Were you here? I don't think I saw you yesterday. Jackie Douglas Adams, good morning. Hope all is well with your throat. Don't know what all the is about, but anyways, I bid you good morning. Carol Belfon, good morning. Who else is here? Kadena. Good morning, Mel. Melvin Brown, big up yourself. Christine, good morning. Good morning, Della. Yeah, and Della is getting ready for her birthday on, is it 23rd, right? Today is 21, Friday. Morning, Keisha. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Morning, Sean. Ingrid, good morning. Hi, your mother. Listen, tell Miss Pat to sort out yourself, please. Tell her I'm the lady that said hi to her on the airport. All right. So, and I was asking her about you, wayward child. Morning, Ricky. Morning, Petra. Morning, Giets. Cam, Simeon, how are you? Good morning. Morning, Roslyn. Good morning, Ardon Kujo. Morning, Amanda, Julianne. Oh, you had an appointment. Could you please indicate next time what sort of prefect you be? You just don't show up for class and you don't say anything. I'm sure you knew you had that appointment before the day, right? So next time, do us all a favor and let me know so I can appoint somebody. I tried to appoint one yesterday, but we know how delinquent that one can be. She's all over the place. So it was a mess yesterday. And you know who I'm talking about. But for future references, please let us know. Thank you. Morning, Amanda. The Unstoppable Drizzy, good morning. Judy Ann Williams, welcome to the show. Colleen, good morning. Let me see. When it gets to 5, that's when I cut off all the greetings and we get into it. Good morning, Lisa. Delicia, good morning. Morning, Janelle, Simeon, Michelle. Sonia. We're going on over 13 now. I can't keep up, the internet just doing the most since 2024 started. Morning, Jenelyn. Morning to everybody on the live. If you're on YouTube, good morning. Also, if you're listening online, good morning. Or if you're here via radio 95.1, 95.3, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Angel Eyes, good morning. Randall Barry, good morning. And Valerie, Jackie, Veronica, good morning. River Sally checking in. How's River Sally this morning? Hope all is well. Is it 5 minutes yet past? Yeah, I don't want to. Did I call everybody's name? Did I call Nurse Sarana? Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Powered up from the gym. Yeah, hope you're having a great day and you'll have a wonderful, wonderful workout. So, Charmaine, good morning. Charmaine, that little boy giving me trouble. Jeez. Morning, Shauna. I swear, like dogs are like children. Every second I be talking to you, people probably passing in the road and asking if I'm have somebody in my house. The way I be talking to this dog of mine. I swear that you have zero privacy. You can't every second go to the bathroom. It's like a little shadow. I can look without even looking around. I know he's there looking at me. Sometimes I have to be like, Molly, can I please use the bathroom? Can I have some privacy? I'm showering and I have to leave the shower door open because he'll sit there crying and barking and then lay down and be looking at me and I'm like, wow, look at you just looking at me. You're not supposed to look at me naked. But anyways, he's doing too much these days. Morning, Eden. So, Carrington, morning. St. Lucia checking in. Sandra, good morning. Shauna Dakota, I called your name. Morning, Danisha. Delroy. All right, so Delroy, you're caught. You almost got left. Angel Fire, good morning. Luke, I saw your message. No problem. So, I'm not sure how many of you been following my story. My page, sorry, following my Facebook postings from last evening. I don't know how I caught onto this late because it seems as though the entire world was already on this. And I swear I have some useless people in my life because y'all are something about to ask myself what's on the purpose in my life because y'all don't put me on certain things. Manje pop-up stuff, y'all be flooding my inbox. Things like this is what I need to know about. And I have to find out, by the way, just scrolling through TikTok and I'm seeing all these things popping up of this. I'm like, what's going on? It's like when y'all find things, y'all just throw out little, but don't put the story out. So people have to be in your under your thing asking who, what, where, when, why. Anyways, I came across this story yesterday and to say I was hooked. Like it literally had us in a chokehold. Like you have things to do and you couldn't move. I went to bed like after almost 12. Almost 12. And I think I have like 4 more to listen to, but I think I got the gist, the general gist of the story. So I'll probably catch up later on. But I'm sitting on TikTok and saw a posting and I went to check it out. Followed the young lady. So I thought it was just maybe 2 or 3 chapters, only to realize it is a 50-part, almost, is it 5 or 10 minutes each one, detailing her relationship with a gentleman. Is the man's name Lee John or is it Lee John? Because I'm seeing people saying like LWE because she didn't put out his real government name or there. You know, she was given his story, but didn't put out the real government name. But she keeps referring to him as Lee John. So I'm not sure if is it like Legion or is it Leejohn. Anyway, besides that, whether it's Lee John, whatever his name is, 52. You're on episode, okay, 52 parts to the story. So I decided so let me change it in my heading, to follow up on this story and to say I was hooked. It's like you were looking at, you know, these Netflix series that are really, really good, and no matter how long they are, you have to get through the entire thing because every episode just have you hanging on your seat like, oh my gosh, what's coming next? So I decided, let me see what this craze is all, what everybody's, losing it about. So I went on and checked it out under the name of Risa on TikTok. Only to find out this lady is an Aquarius. So I can relate to her because when we're into a person, we're into a person. And a lot of the times we see red flags and we jumping up and acting like if it's Carnival Monday or it's Soca Monarch, it's flags to have a good time, but it's flags for you to run. We see the flags and we pretend, okay, that's not what it is. We convince ourselves in our head that it's something totally different. So I can relate because I've been there, done that. That is why I have a problem with Pisces people. Anywho's. So apparently she met this man on the internet, on Beyonce's internet. Naya, what happened? She met this man on the internet, and long story short, they hooked up, and it was during the COVID period. And COVID were locked down, lots of, no going out, no socializing, places shut down, yada, yada, yada. They're in Atlanta. And she had hooked up with this man. And I guess he probably checked all the boxes, was telling all the things she needed to hear. And, oh, he was divorced and yada, yada, yada. But at some point in her story, I literally had to stop and say, but wait, miss. I know I've been there, done that, been stupid in love, thinking, this person is telling you the truth, although there are lots of signs that point towards them lying. But you sit there and convince yourself that it is the truth, even though you have the evidence before you. Because from jump in the story, from early in the story, right, to us reading and listening, we identified that this dude was lying off the bat. So imagine being in a relationship with somebody and this person makes themselves out to be this, well, not too perfect, but, well established, claimed he played football and that's how he made all his money and has offshore accounts and that's where the bulk of his money is stored. And so they're planning life now and planning to get married, right? Only to... Let me see what Jerry wants. Wow. Okay, so we need to check the cameras. Somebody... Why did I check my phone now? That was not there. Okay. Trey, you just totally threw me off. You just spoiled my entire mood right now. Anyways, let me get back to the story. I'll deal with that after. Yeah, somebody just did something that... So yeah. Where was I? Y'all help me. Jerry just threw me off. Samuel, how did you know is that? Who is it calling me? I can't take calls right now. Samuel, how did you know? Anyways, where was I again? Y'all help me now. What was the last thing I said? Y'all not following the story, are you? Dre just completely threw me off. Yeah, so we were talking about Scorpios, yeah. No, Mel, I'm not okay, but I will deal with it after. Dre just made me forget where I reached with the story. And y'all are no help right now. What was the last thing I said? Yeah, so they were going to get married. Yeah, planning marriage and all of that, right? And of course, she was renting. He was living in a studio apartment. She had a townhouse situation. They were both renting. And, during the lockdown, they were discussing, like where should we, knowing that you can't, we're on lockdown, who would stay with who and who would whatever and how would they, navigate throughout it. And at some point decided that they were going to be at her house because since he had a studio apartment, wasn't so big, studio, everything in like one room. So they ended up, well, leading up to that, going out, doing stuff, couples thingy, getting to know each other. So during the lockdown, they decided let's hook up at my house, at her house. And one thing I guess led to another, and they decided, you know what, they're looking at marriage and decided, you know what, they're gonna get married, yada yada yada. And of course, one of the things when you get married, you start looking at where you're gonna live. And she had decided once her lease was up, she wanted to move somewhere else. So homeboy is all in on it and shows her a letter, mortgage from bank stating how much he's approved for. Was it like $750,000? And she was like, well, she's nowhere near that bracket to purchase a house for that. And she said he moved in and he was taking care of the bills. She didn't have to worry about it. He was handling stuff at home, like, manned up and was paying the bills at home and what have you. And at some point, they decided, it's time to go looking for homes. So they both decided to go look at homes, saw one that they really liked and decided, that's the one. And when the time came now, of course, you're going to have to come with your credentials, how you gonna pay for this house. And homeboy says he want to pay for it cash. And people are asking for, proof that you can pay for this house cash. And then everything is like an excuse, and just stories and stories. And that fell through, and other things came and fell through, like her getting a new car, have the lady going around from car dealer to car dealer driving BMW and Audi and telling her she's gonna get her a car, and she's all excited, and story again fell through. They were supposed to deliver it, and it was one story after the other. But to me, automatically the flags would start going off. Like, here you are going to a car dealer or planning to buy a house. You have a realtor, and of course, the process. You break it down, how we going to get this house and things you have to do. And they're asking for certain things, the sellers, and you don't want to do it. You want them to accept. You're signing, and you want them to accept that, it's a cash transaction, but you don't want to show the proof. And she said it herself that when those things started added up, she actually started convincing herself that it was not so. She started convincing herself that it wasn't so. And one of the things that she said that really, really, really touched me was, I truly hoped it was my turn. I'm not able to, reenact the entire story. You guys will have to go on TikTok and, listen to all the 52 parts for yourself. But there's a lot of things that were like big red flags. And one of the things she said in one of the stories was, I really hoped it was my turn. And while a part of you wants to be angry with her, you can't be, because a lot of us women, that's what we think when we meet somebody. Well, this is it. And you're seeing other people living happily ever after. You're seeing people, in relationships, and you want your turn. You want that too. You want that part of, life where you have a partner, family, and it's something you yearn for, and you see other people having it and you want it too. So even if the flags are flying like big red flags in the sky, you get colorblind and you see them as green instead of red. And you completely ignore all the things that tells you should run in the opposite direction, run for your life. So she was there thinking, okay, it's my turn, and I need to, I really want this, and this whole love and this whole fairy tale and all of that. So imagine a man getting up and going to work, dressing for work every morning with you. Oh, there's a part that I left out. A very important part that I left out to me, which automatically should tell her something is up with this dude and convince herself that something is up. How many of us have been in relationships, right? And our partner is on the phone and they're talking to, whether it's a family member, brother, sister, cousin. And your partner will probably, if they want to say hi to you, put the phone on speaker and say, hey, John, hey, Jenny. Johnny says hi. and you'll be on, hey, hi, John, what's up? And you have a little conversation with them. Everything good? Yeah, and all right. And then the person will go back to the conversation and take it off the speaker. This lady is saying this man used to have conversations all the time, and she's never heard the other person speak. He's always on the phone, dialing, and oh, I'm talking to my brother. She said she'll be in the bathroom and he'll tell her he's on the phone with his brother and be like, hey, or be on the phone with somebody and hey, so-and-so says hi. But she's not hearing that. And then he'll be on the phone, did you hear her? And she'll be like, I'm like, I mean, I don't want to be hard on her, but I think naive is like, or maybe desperation, and that is the crux of the conversation this morning, that when we're too desperate for things, we miss all the signs. We desperately want a person and want a relationship, that we miss a lot of things. For example, there was an incident where she said he claimed to be driving the company vehicle, which is a BMW, but he didn't want to bring it to their yard because of the neighborhood they lived in. It wasn't safe. So they went to dinner one time. They were driving through a particular part of Atlanta, took the long way just to, the scenic route. And he pointed to her. She said she barely could see the building and said to her, there's a building behind there. And that's where I work. That's where we're going to be setting up shop because we're going to be doing stuff there. And that is where it's parked. So she was like, okay, well, let's go check it out. Let's go see, where you work. And he's like, okay. And went on his phone, made a call and spoke to whether it's Tom. Tom is like the security guard. And says to Tom, hey, are you on the job? I'm in the area and I want to come see, whatever. And Tom is like, oh, because it's a weekend, she said. And she's not hearing the conversation, but he's talking and responding. And he's like, okay, do you know if so-and-so is working? Because I have my badge, but it will only allow me on the floor, but it wouldn't allow me through the security gate because it's a weekend and places locked down. So she says they're talking she's on the phone and be like, okay, John, all right. So can you call Tom and ask him if it's okay if I come? And be like, all right, they'll call me back. And this lady said they ended up home. No phone call came back and not a word mentioned about going to see his place of employment. And it was in everything else, every other conversation, when it came to her getting the vehicle, speaking on the phone to whoever it was to do a wire transfer, all of that, she's never heard the voice on the other end. I mean, sometimes we could be naive, but sometimes you can be dumb. And I don't think I've ever been that dumb to see those things, because at least in certain situations I had, it wasn't like that evident. So you really had to ask yourself, is this for real or is this person trying or playing tricks on me? No. This man would be having full-blown conversations, even going on to say he had a stepdaughter that died. So she finally decided, what's more than flour? She signed up for another job and wanted to, well, of course, you have to go through a whole lot of security checks and what have you, background checks. It's not like here you get a job. Some places require it, some don't. But it also required her a background check being done on her spouse. And one of that, she had to give his social security. And then she realized the social security number he gave her for their marriage certificate, it was not the same as the one he gave her for the background check for the new job she was trying to get. And that is when she really stopped and be like, okay, let me check this out. So she went, whether it was courthouse, wherever she went, to get the details to find out, whatever is the situation, and ended up finding one of the wives because he claimed they were divorced. So she started doing some snooping and what. Listen, we need about 3 days to talk about this. This is like a whole lifetime. I hope somebody gives this lady a contract, because this will make a perfect lifetime movie. So the lady ended up going and doing some check to see when and where they were divorced. The man says that he is to be in California. Lo and behold, the wife said that this man has never crossed the seas to go anywhere locally, regionally, internationally. And she's never been in contact with the man. And she practically told the lady this man is a liar, hence the reason they were divorced. So the story is like, the long and short of the story is, sometimes we can't be too quick and too desperate as much as you want a person. And there's a lot of takeaways from it, as sad as it is. This lady has garnered thousands, and I tell you, thousands of likes and shares on TikTok. She should be rich this morning. The amount of people that are following this, men as well as women. And there are a lot of takeaways from this story that every woman, I hope you guys will go and listen to it yourself, because there are lots of it that I can identify with, and I'm sure you'll be able to identify with. Her name is Risa, hold on, Risa Tessa, is it? On TikTok. Just look for it. Just type in Risa and it's going to come up. You don't even have to do a lot of work. It even had the part where she went through his phone and she was like, he always used to tell her he's not into lying and that he's a straightforward man. So much so she had the password to his phone. And she said she never went to his phone. And that is something she says she'll never ever do again, going to anybody's phone. But for some reason, a message came up, she said, from somebody. And when she checked, it was his family member. But she decided to snoop some more and ended up in his messenger. And he was there having conversations with another woman, explicit conversations, sharing pictures. They never met, but he was asking her, well, when are we going to meet so you can get this and yada, yada, yada. And when she confronted him, he apologized and, oh, it was nothing. He had no intentions of meeting up with the person. It's just a lot of, and you're asking yourself, how can one person like lie so much, you know? And it's the same thing I was saying yesterday, that when we do these things to each other in relationships, we don't understand how traumatic situations like this it truly are. And out of everything she said, it really, really broke my heart when she said, I hoped it was my turn. I hope it was my turn, because after going through other relationships, you don't want to keep on going through relationship after relationship. You really hope that this person, this is it. This is my happy ever after. This is my, you know, knight in shining armor, the whole 9 yards, picket fence. But there's a lot that I'm leaving out because I'm not able to, you know, go through it, and I'm just going off my memory. But you'll have to listen to it yourself. You'll need to go and listen to that story yourself and truly understand. Like, I'm asking myself, after listening to that lady, how do you love after this? How do you date after this with an open mind? Yeah, everybody's not the same, but how do you trust anybody after this? They even went to counseling, and she said the pastor and his wife said to them that if they had come to them for counseling prior to getting married, they would not have encouraged them to get married. And she does not see this relationship, marriage, going past, you know, lasting for any long period after this, because they were seeing stuff that she saw all along, but was just naive or just wanting this relationship so badly that she even went on to say, you know what? I don't remember the woman I was before this man. I don't remember the woman I was before this man. That's to show how deep this cut. And you have to ask yourself, what would possess somebody to just lie? Just lie. This man's entire life was a lie. Never played no football, no international, no football, nothing. Get up and going to a job that didn't even like. Imagine doing this for how long? Like, pathological liar is like, doesn't even cut it. But she says it's not like she's rich, so I don't understand why he went through all of these lies. So, Connie, come up alive. Yeah, I'm a female. Connie, come up alive and have a good day, please, and thank you. But, you know, there's something she said, Nissy, that she realized that he got off doing it. Like, every time she made reference to him. She realized that he got a high from watching her go through these emotions from high to low. For example, when he told her about getting her the BMW or the Audi, and she already picked the color she wanted and the interior cognac color, and telling him how about showing her these expensive homes that are really nice and watching her get excited. She said she realized that he got off on it, like he got a high. It's like it triggered something in him where he enjoyed doing that, watching her go from high to low, or watching her excitement turns to disappointments. It's like he got a thrill from it. He enjoyed it. Oh, on the trip to England, the passport situation. You'll have to go see it for yourself. But my message at the end of this all is for us women. We're living in 2024. We're not in the 1930s, 20s, whatever. And we honestly have to start taking responsibility for our actions and for ourselves and the choices that we make. As much as you want to be in a relationship, as soon as you realize that something is not kosher, we have to stop pretending and lying to ourselves that all is well when we know that it's not. We can't be so desperate to want a relationship or to being a relationship that we lose sight of all these things. Because if she had acted on her first instinct when she saw early in the game that this man was lying to her, if she had acted on that, she wouldn't be here today with 52 chapters of a story. When she saw the very first signs that this man was lying and she allowed him to lie, she conditioned herself in a way that she knew that it was going to be a lie. But the way in her head she visualized it, it's like, okay, it's like you remove yourself, an out-of-body experience. She knows that what he's saying is a lie. She knows that what is going to happen is a lie. She already preempts that it's going to be a lie. So she sort of, it's like a buffer. Like, there's, when you put up all these firewalls, when you have a computer and you don't want viruses and other things to attack your information, you put up firewall and you get all these preventative measures. It's like she had this preventative measure. She know that he was gonna lie, but she was okay in her head because she already know it's a lie. So to her, she's okay. But Rachel, he didn't even have any money. When he got divorced for the first time, remember what the wife said? He had to do this. There's a certain thing that they call it where he didn't have money to pay for whatever. And remember, when he brought up the conversation about them having joint accounts, one of his accounts, she said, was it like 6,500 or 59, something hundred, and another one. But the confusion started when she asked about the offshore account that he claimed he had, and for the life of her, she couldn't see. That's the big one he claimed had over how much thousands and thousands of dollars. The one that all the house, the cars that he wanted to buy cash would supposedly come from. And she never saw sight of that account. And to me, I'm like, hello. And I'm listening to her and I'm like, gosh, didn't you see this? Like, if somebody says they have how many, that's your spouse. He has thousands and thousands of dollars. You'll be happy to be like, oh, listen, look at it. This is. But every time she asked, or whenever a situation came up regarding the homes and having to pay for it cash and him having to provide proof that he actually has the money and never did. Like, sis. And there's a lot of reasons out here. It's like we see these things in front of us. That's what I labeled it. Or she called him Legion after the demons in the Bible. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, so she had all these situations, all these plans, the car, the house, the trip to England, and all those things. I mean, at this point, I don't even think naive is the word, because to be naive in one instance is okay, but to be naive throughout the entire relationship when this person is so very transparent about the lies and the stories. This man just, his entire life. I mean, and she's had other relationships. It's not her first rodeo. Naive is showing a lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment. So yeah, in this instance, she was, because she totally lacked wisdom or judgment. Totally. So I don't understand, like, in this day and age that we're still falling for those things in the quest to belong or to be in a relationship. It's time we stopped and be like, you know what, maybe it's better to be single. And there's nothing wrong with being single. What's for you will always be for you. Whatever has to come will come. But trying to force something and pretend that something is what it's not, to me, that does more to your mental health than being single. Because at one point she said she completely disconnected. It was like she was just going through the motions. She knows he's lying. She's aware that everything that's about to come from his mouth is a lie. To be on the look, at one point she was like, whenever he brought up this thing about going and look for a house, she didn't want no part of it, because she just didn't want to be disappointed over and over again, knowing. So she knew. So allowing that to get to 52 chapters, that should have been shut down at the 10th chapter. By chapter 10, she should have realized that this dude is not who he says he is. Especially when she realized, she also said that he had 2 different names on social media. He was on a dating app under one name. He was on Facebook under another name. Love Child Kim says, I will be very honest. We as women need to worry about what we could bring to the table instead of a man's money. Lies and money had her in the fake relationship. Yep. Being independent is the biggest thing to me when I'm in a relationship. And I think that is what caught her. The fact that he was taking care of the expenses in the home, paying the bills. So when she realized that he had all the power is when she decided, okay, I need another job that's paying more. That's when she had to get, you know, the Social Security to do the background check on her spouse and yada, yada, yada. And more things came to light. But, sis, like I said, at chapter 10, this should have been shut down. You saw it. You saw all of the signs. It's like somebody showing you a picture of something and you get excited about it, thinking you're going to have it. So there he is giving her the world, but not showing her how he's going to do that. All he says to her, he's got money from playing football, and because of an injury, he couldn't play anymore. At the back, she just like, he was so smooth with it. It was like, he even believed the lies himself. She was paying the bills. The man did not meet you destitute. You were not living on the street. You were not homeless. You had a job. You were living by yourself, paying your own bills. So to me, even that is like, it's like you wanted to be in the relationship so badly, you lost sight of everything else. Totally lost sight of everything else. And there's a lesson to be learned. There's a message amidst her pain. And I am happy that she decided to share this with the world. Even though she's embarrassed, even though she realizes she was an idiot, she was a fool, she was all the other things. I'm happy she decided to share her story. And I hope that story wouldn't go in vain. But women, us women, we would listen to it. We would take the message from it, which is one, never to be so independent of a person that you lose yourself in the process. That you accept any and everything because of what that person is doing for you. Be able to do it for yourself. If you're paying your rent, make sure you're able to pay your rent if that person ups and leave you. So you don't feel that you have to stay in the situation because you can't do it alone. Anything you're into, make sure you're able to do it on your own. So if whatever happens and that person decides to split or you decided to call it quits, you wouldn't feel like you have to keep them around because you don't have any other way. Always be sure that whatever you're doing, whoever you're involved with, you're able to do it on your own after this person leaves. You're not hooking up for the relationship to fail, but life, things happen. People split, people divorce, people go their separate ways. So yes, Rachel, she stated that she wanted to get married, and I guess like that's why I said we have to curb this sense of desperation we have, because we look at our age, we look at everything and think, the clock is ticking. So desperation steps in and I have to do this, I have to do that, otherwise I'm going to get left. Sis, if it means you're going to be single when you're 50, 55, whatever the case might be, you'll be single with a peace of mind and not having to worry about what lies are coming your way. Stop feeling the need to like settle and take anything you get because you're looking at a clock and you're looking at other people's relationships and other people's lives on social media or whatever, your family, and you don't pay attention to what's in front of you. Because she already, at the beginning, she was, I'm plus size and I'm this and that and the other. So she already started, listing her shortcomings in her eyes. But was it like at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It's honestly not worth it. And I often say, if I know now what I knew then, if I knew then what I know now, our life choices would be so much more different. But that's not the way life works. So that's why I'm hoping more young women especially would follow that story and listen to it so you don't get trapped and you don't get caught in a situation like that. It is just unbelievable the things you fall for in the name of love and wanting to belong, and the whole status quo about family and marriage, and it's crazy. So imagine you, like I said, I know us Aquarians, when we like you, we like you. When we love you, we love you. And that is a blessing and a curse. You love hard. You love hard. So again, before I go, just want to say it again. Y'all need to go check out her story. Listen to all 52 chapters. Lots of lessons to be learned there. Men as well as women. The biggest ones are what not to fall for, how to identify. What the old people used to say, we used to say, fall doo-doo and think is egg. If it is fall doo-doo, it is fall doo-doo. Stop seeing it as an egg. It's not no egg. And that is what she convinced herself. All around her was fall doo-doo and she was thinking it was eggs. No, it wasn't. And we have the ability to convince ourselves. It's like, are men like this, or is it only a woman thing? That you see something and in our heads, we convince ourselves that it's something different. It's right in front of us in black and white, red, pink, all the colors you could think about. And then we act as though it's invisible. We have this ability to totally convince ourselves a situation is not what it is. That is why we get the wool pulled over our eyes time and time and time again. And I wonder if these men sometimes be in their own little world laughing at us and be like, look at this stupid idiot, look at this big idiot. Watch her. First she want man and first she want relationship. Watch her. I wonder if they do that, like sit and laugh to themselves about us and be like, girl, I'm a real dotish. Boy. Say I have an ex just like Legion. I swear he's the perfect example of picking up fall for egg. I have not finished, but I'm gonna finish up the final couple chapters today. But anyways, guys, Rodriguez says, are they real stupid? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I figure I'll let her just sit down and say, watch her. Oh, she's stupid. All kind of thing I do, she's still here. I ain't calling her, I ain't texting her. She behind me every minute. She doing this for me, doing that for me, and I ain't doing nothing for her, doing the bare minimum, but she's still here jamming like Bobot. I feel like I'll sit down and laugh us for real. I just have a feeling. Yeah, I'll just sit and like laugh. Ricky says sometimes people want something so bad they put on blinders. Yes, they do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Anushka says these men could smell our desperation. Yep. You know they're saying that monkey knows what tree to climb? They do very well. Their desperation, they reek of desperation. They smell it from a mile away. That's why they can do certain things with certain women and other women they can't, because they know not all women are the same. I'm not for this. Listen. That's why they're getting upset at Shensia's hit and run. But we can't allow desperation to blind us. Much as you want something doesn't mean that thing wants you or it will be good for you. We just have to learn to make better decisions. The best of us, the smartest of us, those who have degrees and masters and everything fall prey to situations like this. So you don't have to be a particular ilk or a particular standard. It happens to the best of us, as smart as you are, as intelligent as you are. It happens. Emotions. That's why they say sometimes you got to control your emotions or it will control you. You have to be disciplined. As much as you want something, that does not mean that thing is for you. But hey, I wish her all the best. I wish her well. I hope everything works out for her. But this story is crazy. So if you have not seen it as yet, guys, go check it out. All right, so I'll see you all tomorrow, God's will. Again, 11 a.m. in the forenoon. Yeah, curb your emotions, curb your enthusiasm. Someone said they like man too much. Yeah, need to calm our enthusiasm. Too much man, yeah. We get too excited too much because we want to busy to put up pictures and go on vacation and while we have man. Calm your enthusiasm. Like man too much. Alright, so have a great Wednesday, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much to our friends at Western Union and Beacon Insurance for making the program possible. Alright, have a great one.